All right, I don't see anyone in the waiting room here, but I gotta get started with class. So, whoo, it's getting chilly again in Georgia. Isn't this fuzzy sweater fun? I've had it for so many years. I need to fix it. It's a little bit falling apart. Um, but thanks for being here. Welcome to Wednesday Qigong every Wednesday, 1:30 ish. Notice your breath, notice your heartbeat. Let's get that stress level down. Notice just what you're experiencing right now. Even just directing your energy and awareness towards yourself is an act of self regulation and allowing yourself to feel whatever you're feeling, to be whoever you are, to breathe however you're breathing, for your heartbeat to beat however it's beating, just acknowledging and accepting it and loving yourself for right where you are, right here, right now. That is an accomplishment. So, congratulations. Good job. Proud of you. It isn't amazing. It just takes 30 seconds, and here you are. So now the trick is, how do we seal that in? How do we marinate in it? How do we extract this medicine so we can feel this amount of just being our true selves and accepting our true selves every moment? Just being aware of our breath, just being aware of our heartbeat truly improves it. Just being aware that you are a miracle truly improves your expression here. Hi, Kevin. Good for you with your studio. Hello, Mike. Yeah, I experimented with a tutorial to try and get these. I'm always playing around with how to do a cat eye, and I got a new tip to start the line actually where the pupils look straight ahead. I always kind of started it more out this way, so it's got a different look, but obviously it's messed up here. But art comes in many shapes and forms. Thanks for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. Hmm. Again, notice what's going on. What do you need today? Do you have a specific pain in your body that you're working through? Do you have emotions that you're working through? Just naming it allows you to accept it. And that's why we do these intentions, because it's not only about me, okay, knowing, okay, I can do a specific exercise for your heart if you have heart issues, right? But it's also you bringing awareness to that. And what that does is it brings acceptance usually. And when you accept where you're at and you accept that, yes, I need energy in my shoulder, I need energy in my neck, then what are you not doing? You're not ignoring it. You're not making up a different reality. And so when you're accepting exactly what's going on, you are also accepting energy to flow into it. And so you become more flowy and more gooey with yummy energy. So today I think will be our last class on regulating, self regulating, and co regulating. And since the last class was about specific artist self regulation, I thought, wouldn't it be fun to talk about how to co regulate as artists in this class? Like how to enhance our friendships with other artists even more so that we even more deeply accept and appreciate each other's state of mind and how we can encourage each other and thus co regulate each other and thus make the world a better place. Thank you, Richard. We receive it and we are grateful. And thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the subscribe. Thank you for donating towards this class. If you wish, I will put that link in the chat so that all can see it. And it just helps me more than you know. The like helps me more than you know. The subscribe helps me more than you know. The $1 helps me more than you know. And everything is appreciated so much because I'm constantly self regulating and life is not cheap. So, once again, thank you for that thumbs up. Notice that breath that you have within the miracle of your shell, your temple. Notice your heartbeat. Notice what is going on with you today. Notice what you need. And whenever you're ready, please put an intention in the chat box if you'd like to share it. And if not, that's okay too. Just having it in your mind or writing it down for yourself is a great thing to do. My name is Aviva. My intention is to be here for all of you today and to once again discuss self regulation and co regulation, specifically focusing on artist co regulation and how we can be there for each other, all while really recognizing how we can self regulate as artists specifically and as human beings in the day to day hustle and bustle. Jabri's in the house. Jabri's intention is to be here with you today, and he'd like some attention to his hands and feet today. I don't think we did the foot massage on Monday, so we definitely need to do that today. Foot regulation is a very good thing to experience. All right, anyone else? Well, let's just get started then. Let's go ahead and breathe in our intentions. Release anything in the way. Breathe in your intentions. Release whatever it is you don't need. Breathe in your intentions. Release your resistance. Breathe in your intentions. Release resistance. So we're going to start with the first chakra mudra, which is the thumb to the index and the pinky. Okay? And this is the grounding mudra. Amanda is in the house. Greetings. Amanda's intention is to let go. She's got something. Let's see. I can't read that, so I'm going to put some flying penguin emojis. Which, by the way, if you become a member of this channel, you can use these emojis as well. Hey, it's not working. There it is. Something catching in my upper back neck here lately. Ooh, sounds like it's alive. All right. So we got to work on that upper back and neck. Oh, I've got some good ones for you. I think we might have done them last Wednesday, but I don't think we did it Monday. Thanks for being here, Amanda. So we're focusing on this mudra right now. This is for the kidneys and it's for the lower back. And I think this is a really important thing. I came up with like 10 affirmations for artists to self-regulate in the last class. So the next one came on my tea bag last night. Okay. And it's so good because it's basically we're constantly definitely devil, angel on the shoulder is one way to look at it. Ego, spirit is another way to look at it. And I think a lot of social anxiety can be addressed with this affirmation that I'm about to say. It's like the social anxiety that happens when you are like talking to a cashier or talking to someone that you have like customer service. Um, and you just have all these weird thoughts in your head, possibly where it's like you might want something from them, you might want them to help you, and you feel like they're not helping you, and then you might feel like, oh, they don't like me, or you feel like, oh, they're dumping their negative energy on me, like they're having a bad day, and so they have like, corporation personality disorder, and they're like using their power to hurt the customers because that lowers their cortisol or whatever, and you get the brunt of it. Well, I think it's easy for us as sensitive people or socially anxious people to take that on and let it affect your day. Like, let that negativity affect your day and be like, I messed up. I could have been nicer to that person. That person doesn't like me. Blah, blah, blah. I have less energy now. Okay, so this is the mantra from the tea bag that I think heals that. Live by your inner knowledge and strength. Isn't that beautiful? Live by your inner knowledge and strength. And that goes along with this mudra because this mudra is about your strength. And when you focus on how strong you are, I feel like you're less affected by the little flicks of energy that people send your way. And then they just flick off you because you're a stone. You're stone. You're not putty. You're not sticky tape that's taking lint off everything, which is what you feel like when you take on people's negative energy. What are you energetically? You are fly tape. You're a lint roller. You're basically like, I don't think my cat doesn't shed that much, but you can see a little bit of hair stuck to that. That's how you feel when you're out in public and you have social anxiety. You're a lint roller. So what you need to do is transform, be a GoBot, be a transformer, and become a rock when you go out there. A hard rock, a strong rock. And when you feel that strength, because you know you are strong, but you forget you're strong in those moments when you feel like disposable lint tape, right? You forget it. So I'm just reminding you, and it's a constant thing you need to remind yourself. Thank goodness I drink tea. Live by your inner knowledge and strength. You know your ego is being a rascal. That's what your inner knowledge is telling you. Your inner knowledge is telling you, I know that I am being insecure right now. I'm being a little loopy. I'm being a little anxious. I know. And I have a deep knowledge in me that knows that this reality is not as important as my own strength. And I've survived a lot in this world. I don't think someone looking at me the wrong way is something to get all torn up about. Yeah. So let's move on to the next mudra. Well, some people just popped on. Let's hold this one for just 30 more seconds. You don't even have to do it with both hands. If one gets tired, you can just hold it with one hand. For your lower back, for your kidneys. And this addresses fear. So instead of what's the opposite of fear? Being courageous. When you're a rock, you're courageous. You might not be able to smile around people who are looking at you wrong, but you can be stoic. You can be unaffected. You can transform into a rock. You don't have to be a delicate flower all the time. We're gonna do a super fast chakra cleanse. We're gonna go just like one breath with each mudra now. We're gonna do the creativity mudra. So this is a clasped hand. The left thumb is on top for women. The right thumb is on top for men. You're gonna just hold this and breathe and think about how creative you are. Moving up to the self-esteem mudra. Index to thumb, ring to thumb. Think about your confidence. So it's similar to being a rock. Now it's like you don't only see your strength as being a hard rock, you also see your strength in movement. You see your strength in your ability to move around and stay centered, stay in the center of the wheel. Because when we go on the outside of the wheel, then we're spinning. We're literally spinning. Our head is spinning. But if we stay on the inside into our core, our inner knowledge, our strength, and we live by that, then everything else spins around us. And I'm not saying you're the center of the world, but you are. That's what this mudra is about. If you're not the center of your world, then you're going to feel some turbulence and you're going to have some drama in your life because you're not anchoring to your strength. You're anchoring to the drama. Does that make sense? Moving up to the heart. Bring the index finger down to the bottom of the thumb. The thumb connects to the middle and the ring. So I was watching this short video, actually this long video that I took a short video of that I'm probably going to post at some point. And it explains why I teach for free. Not only did my grandmaster Fu encourage it because he trained us for free. I mean, we could give donations and whatnot. Um, and the reason is because I think he and a lot of masters believe that the only way for us all to wake up is for us all to wake up. Like literally, a master can isolate and then he feels awake. But when they connect with other people, if other people aren't awake, it is way too easy for them to not stay awake. Isn't that interesting? And I think that another way to describe that is co regulation. So, in order to co regulate, I feel like it's necessary for me to teach things for free and have things out there because I'm not trying to be in a different world than everyone else, even though it feels that way. And I am because I'm creating a different world because I don't like this one in a lot of ways. I mean, I don't. I mean, I love this world, and I want this world to be more pure. Um, so anyway, the thing is the more we wake up together, this it's just that's the only way. That's the only way that we can create a reality together is for all of us to be in it together. I can't do it by myself. Okay, going on to the throat, thumb up, then wrap your hand around. Right thumb is up, and then the left middle finger connects to the right thumb. So that's why it is a gift um, to me for you to just be here, and I appreciate it. And if you had the resources to donate on top of that, it would just help to fortify my strength in being here. Hmm. And now we're going to put all the fingertips together. And this is for the third eye mudra, connecting with our intuition. And then we're going to go all the way to the Sahasrara and connect the thumb to the index and relax into that. This is your connection to that cosmic consciousness, to each other. So this is the universal co-regulation mudra, where you're basically connecting with what everyone else is connecting with and finding some kind of unity in it. What y'all drinking? I've got some matcha. I mixed some clove, cinnamon, ashwagandha. Mm. Ooh, apple juice. I got these apples, these organic gala apples from the store yesterday. And when I opened the bag, it smelled like nail polish remover. And from a distance, it smells like nail polish remover. When I go close, it smells like an apple. But I can smell a hint of. Now, maybe they spelled nail polish remover on. I don't think so, though. All right, let's shake this out. Let's go ahead and do some hand stretches. And let's talk about artist co-regulation. I've got some notes here, of course. So one thing I talked about in the last class is to really focus on your accomplishments. So we're going to do one finger at a time here. So let me know how that feels when you focus on accomplishments. Like, it might increase your motivation. Like, I didn't really feel like exercising this morning, but when I was like, okay, let me think about things I've accomplished. Like, I have a kitty cat not taking care of her. I recorded a whole album with the band. Don't take it lightly. These things that you've accomplished that you think like, oh, whatever, it's just whatever. It's not just whatever. Like, you accomplished it. If you've had any child, you've had a child. That's a huge accomplishment. Don't take it lightly, really. If you've ever been married, even if you're divorced, that's a huge accomplishment. Some people never feel that, you might feel like, oh, it was a big mistake. But hey, it was also an accomplishment, right? Now do this. I think that we tend to twist things around if we're not satisfied and we turn things into failures, like a relationship that failed but like think about how like the accomplishments within it, because there are accomplishments. And then let's just bring it to the side, fingers up. So in addition to recognizing your accomplishments, and I kind of want you all to just think about at least 3 right now. Let's just take a moment and marinate in our accomplishments in life. And the best ones to think about are the ones that you thought you could never do. Like, you remember the moment of imagining doing that thing, and then you never thought you could, and then you did. Hey, man, good job. Shake it out. Did you ever think you could start your own business? Did you ever think you could clean your house? Did you ever think you could move somewhere? You know that feeling when you're like, how the heck am I going to find a place to move to? But then what do? You do find that place. That was an accomplishment, right? Okay. Let's do some standing stuff. You came to class today. That was an accomplishment. Good job. High five. I am standing on my earthing mat. That's an accomplishment. I mean, the more we notice the accomplishments, the more we'll accomplish. I think that's my theory. All right. Have you all noticed 3 accomplishments? We're going to do some liver energy, just circling the hands around and around with the fingers. That is bringing power to your liver. I don't know if I've ever worn this in class yet, but this was gray a couple weeks ago. And of course, I got an oily stain on it and I couldn't get it out. So I made a bleach design instead and got very beige. Okie dokie. So, I'm not trying to harp on the negative, but we need to recognize the challenges that we have as artists and recognize it in a loving way. Because as you think about your accomplishments, you will also recognize the challenges that you had in order to achieve. Now we're going to just rock back and forth. And when you recognize the challenges, it does 2 things. One, it helps you appreciate your accomplishments even more because you know that you had those challenges when you achieved them. And secondly, it helps you recognize the challenges that you're going through right now and to not be so hard on yourself. So I just jotted down 10 of the challenges that we have, and it might be good to just choose 5 that you recognize as the biggest challenges for you and that you want to work on. All right, we're going to hit the hands like this. So we're going to go back with the hands when the feet are forward. And we're just going to go back and forth, switching the hand that is open each time. 1, your work is never done. An artist's work is never done. So you need to do small tasks to like feel like you've accomplished something, because sometimes the big tasks take a while. Number 2, it's hard to do small tasks because you feel like there's no time because you want to complete the bigger task. Number 3, you're sensitive, so you need more time to regulate. Number 4, you're dependent on donations a lot of the time, so it's hard to have enough alone time because you feel like you owe people connection because you need their donations to survive. And you might have a fierce sense of independence, so then that stresses you out too. Number 5, you have to do things in your own unique way, so you may come across as disagreeable to some people, and then you got to deal with those, possibly negative vibes. And that's when you cling to that inner strength and inner knowledge. 6, you might be grumpy or low energy or sick due to a lack of regulation because of all these challenges, not getting enough sleep, food, or time alone. Number 7, you don't have enough money possibly, so you don't have enough time to do all of these other things because of your other jobs. Number 8, a lot of people want your energy, possibly, and so it's hard to say no. And so it's hard to have boundaries. Number 9, there might be a lack of motivation to do things due to society's expectations. And you know that what you're doing doesn't meet that. And number 10, not wanting to be business people because of being an artist and yet needing to figure out how to make money. So all these are ways that artists have challenges self-regulating. And that's okay. Live by your inner knowledge and strength. All will be well. Okay, let's shake this out. Let's just do the grounding part of the Qi Gong form before we go into some other things. We're going to lift both heels up. No, left heel up, bending both knees, rotating that left knee towards the right. So really, it's really important to find support, to find others also to give your support to. So if you've got an artist that you really like, continue to listen to their music, continue to feel that energy, continue to support them on Spotify and recognize that you're doing that. Continue to go to their videos on YouTube or Facebook and comment on them. knowing that all of your energy that you're giving to that artist is helping them grow. I've got more than a handful of artists that I frequent, you know, to give my energy to. I wish I can give money to. And sometimes I can a little bit. Okay, the other direction with this knee. And I think just recognizing that you're part of that community helps the co-regulation happen. Because as we're supporting other people, we're putting out energy that we receive, um, without giving away our good, like I talk about, without giving away the energy that is actually ours to do stuff with. Um, and recognizing that we as artists need each other's support to survive is, I think, a healthy way of seeing life. um, I wanted to kind of diverge for a second and tell you all what happened to me last Wednesday. Okay, shake out this ankle, lift the right heel up, bending both knees, rotate that right knee towards the left. So here I am, a good solid 2 weeks of exploring self regulation with all of you and researching it myself and researching how to handle being triggered and how to self regulate through your triggers. And I'm cleaning because I'm getting ready for my brother to visit. And so I'm cleaning and cleaning and, wanting to make sure it's a child safe areas where I live. My nieces are about to come and whatnot. And I was just like in one of my, like, in the zone, ready to stay up, till 4 in the morning because my gig wasn't until 4:30 the next day. But I was gonna, like, I had big plans on, like, you know, doing things to my space all day. Okay. Let's rotate the other way. Well, what happens at 2 in the morning is I'm cleaning, one of my first counters when you first come into my space. And there's a little index card that slipped through the cracks, and it's jury duty. Now, I didn't share that I had jury duty, like, amidst all the cannabis activism, and because I hadn't, like, I wanted to do a movie on it, a video on it, but I hadn't had a chance because it was like my jury number was the same number as a bill that was going on, and I thought that was funny, and I was gonna do a whole video on what that number meant to me. And I ended up, like, having a gig on the day of duty, so I asked them if I could postpone it, and they said yes. Well, I didn't realize I had another notice. It, like, literally slipped through the cracks, literally. All right, now we're just gonna sway back and forth with the feet. So the right and the left, and literally, like, feel all the weight shift back and forth. Well, yeah, I had jury notice, and I was like, "Oh my god, did I miss it? Like, when was it?" Well, 11:09. Here it was Wednesday at 2 a.m., which was actually 11:09, and it's like, "You have to report 8 o'clock in the morning," and I'm jury number 1 this time. I am number 1, not 196. Um, and it's like, "Call this number to see if you still have it," right? I call the number and I'm shaking. I'm literally full-blown panic attack. Like, it reminded me of kind of when I got arrested, to be honest. And it's probably because the whole idea of being on a jury is like being in that criminal justice energy. I'm freaking out. And so I didn't dip into my co-regulation, my self-regulating techniques until I called and I found out that indeed jurors 1 to 250 or something had to report at 8 a.m. the next day. So I'm freaking out for two reasons. One, I wasn't going to get a lot of sleep. Two, I had a gig at 4:30 the next day. Was I even gonna make it? Was I gonna be able to perform? And so I just immediately grabbed onto the techniques that we've been talking about for weeks here, and it worked. I did the trigger techniques of how do you feel right now? Give yourself space to feel your feelings. It's okay. It's okay that you're stressed about this. I just used everything in the book, and I took a hot bath. I got my cortisol level down. And I set my alarm, like, I think I probably only slept 2 or 3 hours, and, I, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4, and I get there, and I just basically do qigong the whole time I'm there because I really believe in the power of qigong, and I got out just in time. Like, they let us out at 3:30, and I just had everything with me for my gig. Scribbles was napping in the car, and I got there, and it just goes to show, like, I don't know what I would have done without these techniques, and there was something that was preparing me for this subconsciously. Oh, so that's my story. I was saved by the qigong, saved by the self-regulating techniques, and by practiced my songs, and I was able to practice there during a break as well. Just feel that weight completely shift back and forth. Really focus on kind of the energy leaving one leg when it all goes on the other. So I wanted to just restate that we all have this ability to turn any panic energy into peace just with our perspective, our POV, our point of view. And one of the things I had to say to myself was, I've survived without 8 hours of sleep before, and I don't have to be perfect to survive. And I don't have to focus on my flaws to survive. All right, come to stillness. Because I was really mad at myself for not being prepared. Like, how could I have lost this important notice? And that was part of the whole needing to self regulate that trigger. And in some ways, I thanked myself because if I knew I had jury duty the next day, I wouldn't have gotten as much done because I would have been preparing for that. So everything happens for a reason. But it's really hard in those moments of panic to turn it around. But you are Rapunzel with that straw, and you can weave it into gold. You have that power. 2:13. Okay. We are gonna just hold this ready position for another moment. Motivating to do our art can be challenging. We might come up with excuses. We might literally feel blocks. We might literally feel panic. Um, and so it's important to compliment yourself on the times that you did do what you want to do. So if you're having a hard time motivating to work out, say to yourself, you have been doing such a good job working out consistently. And honestly, that one thing that you say to yourself will be like, you know what? Now I feel like doing it again because I just validated myself. I mean, think about it. When someone else tells you, man, I really liked your video that you did, or I really liked how you cleaned that house. It sparkles. It feels so good. Doesn't it motivate you to want to do it again when you feel appreciated? So when you appreciate yourself, it also motivates you. We have that reward feeling in our brain even when we validate ourselves. It's like a dopamine thing when you get a reward. It's like Pavlov's dog, right? And then hopefully, after you do what you've complimented yourself to do, to motivate to do, you also tell yourself, great job. You did it instead of, oh, you could have done that better. "Oh, you could have done leg lifts in addition to your ab work." It's like, shut up. We're gonna do the crane. I feel like we need to do some balancing stuff. I'm sensing some heart stuff out there. Okay, so we're gonna spread our wings and then we'll get into upper back stuff. But actually, this really helps with upper back as well. And then we're gonna cross coming down. So let me just see my wrists here. So we're gonna lift one knee and notice how I wiggled. I don't want you to do that. If you can, you really want to shift all the weight into that left leg or whichever leg is standing before you lift the knee so that there's not really an adjustment as you're lifting. And then you come down and you cross the wrists, shift all the weight to that other leg first, and then lift the foot, going back and forth. This is for your heart and your small intestine. So, if you look into actual brain chemistry and the size of the different parts of our brain and what they do, I'm pretty sure it's common knowledge that men, for example, have a bigger navigation GPS in their brain than women. Um, well, women have a bigger recognition of error and flaw area of their brain. I don't know if you guys know that, which means we tend to be more critical of ourselves, noticing the flaws and others. And that was for survival. I mean, think about it. Like, you're in the ancient times, you might have been gathering the berries and the leaves, and you have to be very specific about recognizing the differences and what might be poisonous and what might not be. And so we can turn that in on ourselves and be like, okay, oh my gosh, this is wrong with me. Oh my God, my right eyebrow wing is a little bit lopsided to my left. It's not symmetrical. And like a guy might not notice. It's a generalization, but it's brain chemistry. So it helps to co-regulate if you recognize that. And check this out. If we survived by being nitpicky, oh, and there's another aspect to that too. If we survived by noticing flaws, then having that trait lowered our cortisol. So not only is being self-critical annoying and can cause insecurity, on the flip side, it can actually help you feel less stressed. So we might automatically get into critical mode when we want to lower our cortisol, when we might just really need a hug or need validation, which could also lower our cortisol. But notice when you get into those cycles, I'm not saying guys don't do this, they do it too, for sure. They get into the self critical cycle too. It's not like you don't have that part of the brain, it's just bigger on women. Because guys have more of that testosterone, you know, oh, I can just beat someone up and I'm okay. And girls might be like, well, I have to analyze the situation so I know how to get out of here because I don't have the physical strength to blah, blah, blah. All right, we're going to switch it up. So now we're going to cross the wrists as we raise the knee and then spread the wings as we come down. So, absolutely, like it's called nitpicking, but it's also an instinct to groom. So, it's very de stressing to groom each other as human animals. We used to pick flies out of each other's hair, perhaps when we were more animalistic and living in the wild, you know, cleaning the bugs off of each other. And now, you know, we're basically just being intimate, and that's how we're grooming each other. But it can come across as critical when we want to like do these grooming effects on each other when we get into relationships like, oh, you should change your hair. Oh, you should wear this jacket. Oh, like, let me pop your pimple. Because it's satisfying on some um, animal level. But it's important to realize that you have other choices on how to groom each other, like combing each other's hair, like you'll get that same endorphin rush. Um, But there's personal space and personal boundaries, and some people don't like being touched in any way but, intimacy, but it just might not satisfy other people's needs to groom and nitpick. And then it might become emotional, where they nitpick you emotionally because they're really just trying to groom you. Oh, and then grooming could be a negative word, can it? So we gotta be careful using that word these days. Anyway, you can reduce your cortisol in other ways, like doing qigong or 10 push-ups or taking a hot shower or taking a cold shower. Just a few more. How's your balance feeling? Are you feeling more balanced, less balanced? My ankle's hurting. And you know why? Because I was wearing my cowboy boots all around town yesterday, dancing in the middle of the Target. Yeah, I didn't go all around town yesterday. I just went to Target. No, I did go all around town. I went to the bank. I went to a friend's house. I taught class in the morning. I wasn't wearing my boots for that. All right, let's shake it off. Shake it off. Yeah, shake it off. Shake it off. Ow. All right, it's matcha time. All right, we're gonna do some fun neck, upper back stuff, Amanda. Now, it makes such a difference when you mix it up. Okay, so feet are about shoulder width apart again, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring our arms up, and we're gonna kind of bend back a little bit. Come down here, and then we are going to bring the arms together and crunch over our back. Breathe in, up and down. And then crunch, bending the knees and tucking under. Hopefully that'll snap things back in place. We're human, y'all. We're just trying to always find that homeostasis, reduce the cortisol. And I think that doing the Qigong every day is like, you know how there's a resting glucose level? I think there's a resting cortisol level. I think that when you practice meditation and all that stuff, it just naturally gives you a better foundation, and it just allows you to react to every situation with a little less stress than the normal person who doesn't do the Qigong practice. Walk in the woods is real good for decreasing that stress. Basically, you want to court your own soul when you've got too much cortisol. Oh, oh, I felt a crack coming. How you feeling? Let's do 3 or 4 more of these. I'm adding a shimmy to it because it feels good. Beautiful. Let's do a little stretch for that chest. Clasp your hands behind your back and just bring that chest forward. Feel that stretch in your um, shoulders. Yay! Ah! And then you can stretch it up a little bit and release. Let's do 9 of these. 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm grateful for that stressful experience last Wednesday night at 2 a.m. because it allowed me to implement the tools and it allowed me to verify that they do indeed work. Let's bite. All right, let's do the twist. We're going to cross in the front, twist to the back. Right arm is straight up. Left is like, this is like what you want. You want a 90-degree angle. Your left arm is straight out, parallel with the floor, unless you're on a mountain and it's curved. There we go. That is amazing for the upper back and the liver. It clears the liver meridian. Cross and twist. Very good, my loves. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel that in my left, like, lower abdomen. Probably because I did do some sit-ups today. Okay, back and forth. Remember your intention today and just be proud of yourself for accomplishing that. Just being here is an accomplishment, noticing yourself, accepting yourself, loving yourself for this moment together. Okay, we're going to give ourselves a hug now. We're going to cross that right foot over the left ankle. Take a nice deep breath. And then you're going to twist to the left and then come forward. Bring that foot down. And then cross the left foot over the right. Take a deep breath and twist to the right. Now, whichever felt easier, you're going to do that 5 times in a row. What was that, Kevin? He would record you live, then comment and make jokes. Oh, well, thank you for trolling. So choose the side that you want to do and do 5 all together. I'm choosing this side. When you do the easier side, it brings energy to both sides. So now that you go to the side that was not as easy, it should be easier. And you're just going to do 3 times. on that side. I don't know why, like, it's called trolling. Trollings are so cute to me. I don't think they've ever been bad to me. I actually have a troll character that I've been working on for the children's channel. I think he was brought up in one of the videos, but I want to feature him more because Petunia has a crush on him. Gotcha. All right, let's shake it out. Now we're going to do the carpal tunnel move. To help with carpal tunnel, we're going to bring the fingers up. And, the crane's also really good for anxiety. Anxiety is connected with heart stuff in Chinese medicine. And yeah, so we're just bringing the fingers to the ceiling and bringing energy into the wrists. Thanks for the hearts. I'm trying to think of what other stretches we do to open up that heart meridian. You know what really opens up the heart meridian is learning something new, which is another reason why qigong is naturally self-regulating, because you usually learn something new in class. A lot of things you already know if you've been coming again. But the thing is like even if you do the same move, the whole idea of doing qigong every day, ooh, I'm getting like a huge stream of hearts. Thank you. Is that you learn something new about yourself even when you do the same stretch every single day. If you are hyper aware and hyper focused on just your energy, then you will learn something new about that energy because every day your energy changes. So, in addition to focusing on a task, which Qigong gives you, and nourishing your body, which Qigong gives you, Qigong opens your heart because you're learning new things every time you do it. It's the study of you. That's what it means, the study of your Qi. Okay, release. Let's do some Qi walking. Qi walking is something you could do at the post office. It's something that is so easy, and it is something highly recommended by Qigong masters when someone has any kind of physical disease as well. So it's basically like the ultimate cure, according to them. What do I have in my hair? Oh, I have this thing. I forgot about that. Okay, so here we go. We're going to just lift the wrists up as if they're floating up, and then they float down like feathers. Oh, it's the best feeling when you feel that chi. Almost like the chi is almost like there's an imaginary angel arm under you, like carrying your weight as you gently drop down. Do that one more time, then we're going to add the feet. I am going live again at 4, by the way, to stream the Cannabis Commission meeting for anyone who's interested in Georgia. We're going to lift the left foot gently. We're going to step down, and then we're going to bring the hands down to the waist and let them float to the left. Waist level. We're going to then lift them up on that left side, lifting the right foot up. So about your heart level with the hands. Then you come down again to waist level, and then you bring them slowly to the right. Once you shift all the weight to the right, then you lift the foot off the ground. Try not to lift it up previously because you'll develop more strength if you keep it down until the energy empties out of it. But it's not wrong. There's no wrong way. There's just a way to do it to just gather even more chi. But try not to criticize yourself. So yeah, 20 minutes a day is the prescription given for chi walking to heal almost every single disease, according to some masters. So if you have any cancer, if you have any diabetes, anything, doing 20 minutes of chi walking every single day is supposed to help regulate your blood because it's literally called balancing the sea of blood. That's another name for it because your sea of blood is basically when that is purified, then everything in your body heals, supposedly. So your sea of blood is like the whole concept of what your life is. You are your blood. The the reason why your blood exists in the constitution it's in is because of what you put in your body. So if you eat certain things, it eventually becomes part of your blood. So when you have a high resting glucose level, it's because you eat a lot of sugar and it has nowhere to go. So you've got this stream of blood that's filled with sugar, and certain things become harder to do. And as we know, sugar feeds cancer. So when you're doing this purifying movement, you could literally be clearing out some of the physical toxins in the body through this alchemy of qigong. I don't know. But when you eat things like radishes, it cleans the sugar out of your blood. When you eat things like sauerkraut, what you put in your body affects your sea of blood as well. But doing this one thing 20 minutes a day also purifies your sea of blood. So go for it. I might have it. I do have some full body ones in my 5-minute nuggets, Kevin. If you check that playlist, um, and if I find it, I'll comment it under the video. But yeah, if anyone is capable of donating, I am rebuilding a studio so that the classes can be held in a studio room where you can see my whole body, but it's just taking a really long time to build because I'm very limited with funds right now. So anything anyone could do to help, but I understand if you're limited too. We'll get there eventually. Yeah, Chi Walk is the best. So we'll do about 2 more minutes of Chi walking. I love how this makes me feel. It's amazing to feel the Chi flowing through you. They're so strong. So I think what I meant to say is that when we learn something new, we open our mind. But the thing is, in Chinese medicine, the mind is intimately connected to the heart. The heart is your mind's temple. So when you open your mind, you are affecting the heart also. So the reason why you have to open your mind when you learn something new um, is because it's like you open the box to put something new into it, right? And when this box is open, it almost alters your state of mind from being closed minded to open minded. And when you're in this altered state of mind, it's kind of like opening up the doors and the windows of a house. It's like you get all this fresh hair. I get fresh hair with all my hair. You get all this fresh air in your mind when you learn new things because you're opening your mind, and this fresh air is also freshening everything up. So it's like if you brought your computer to a repair guy, a compare guy. Computer compares. And then he opens up the motherboard and he sees, okay, he needs to like solder this connection to that connection. Well, if he sees dust, he's going to blow that out of the way, right? So if you are opening your mind and learning new things with qigong, then the dust is more visible, and of course, that's going to get out as you learn the qigong as well. And there's a lot of buttons on our machine that need cleaning. There's a lot going on in our minds. So, learning something new every day pretty much guarantees that you are cleaning your mind every single day in a good way. It's like washing your dishes every day. So, that's why people read every day, people do something new, they take new classes because they know that it builds your neurons. It really does. Are you leaving? We haven't done the feet yet. All right, we're going to do circles now. So we're swaying back and forth. We're not lifting any of the feet. We're just circling our arms all the way around. Don't forget to give this video a like. It means so much to me. It really helps more than you know. There's one more thing I want to talk about, and I was saving it for when we massaged our feet. So yeah, I challenge you to learn something new. Join me for qigong every Monday, every Wednesday, every class. You will learn something new. Let's go the other way. Not only about the moves, but you will learn something new about you because we are ever changing. And no one knows who we are, not even us sometimes. All right, let me see if I can show you the legs in the chi walking. It's just like literally just like that. I don't know if you could see my feet. Weird, Kevin. Maybe it's an accomplishment on some level. No press is bad press. It's going to bring you more followers. The more haters you have, the more lovers you have. Because people will check you out. They'll be curious. Okay. All right, so choose any foot you want. You can start with any foot. Probably the least painful one. If there's one in pain, do the other foot first. And take a moment to decide. All right. You don't want to massage your feet? Rotate each toe a few times in each direction and then pull the toe away from the body. Rotate, 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 and pull. Oh, by the way, I started a separate ASMR channel just for algorithms. It hasn't proved to be true yet, but supposedly I'll get more ASMR views if it's separated from everything else. Rotate the whole ankle. So please subscribe if you don't mind so I can get people to go see it because I need subscribers for the algorithms to start working. Bring the toes back and rub the bottom of the feet. I'll get that channel link for you after I massage my feet. And then rub between your toes. And then find a point on the foot, an acupressure point, and hold that for 20 seconds. All right, here's the link. Please subscribe. You could be one of the first 10 subscribers. We've got 3. All right, now we're going to rub around the ankles. There's a kitty cat meowing at me. Hold on one second. Baby! You are so meowy. Can I please pick you up so that everyone can say hi to you? She said okay. She said okay. She said okay. She said I'll say hi. How's everyone doing? My name is Tiger Lily and I love you. Want to come down? Okay. She's very independent. All right. So now we are rubbing around the knees, but I'll tell you, when I hug her like that, it works up her appetite. It's like if she doesn't eat, then I'll pick her up and give her a hug, and then she'll all of a sudden have energy to eat. Ever since she followed me home. That's been how she is. All right, rub around the knees. And then under the knee, find a point a few fingers below and hold that acupressure point. Hold that for 20 seconds. And then rub that out above the knee on the outside of the leg. Find a point and hold that for 20 seconds. And then tap up and down. And brush. Tap the bottom of your feet. All right, we're going to go to the other foot now. Rotate each toe a few times in each direction. And then pull the toe away from the foot. Rotate the whole ankle in both directions. Pull the toes back, rub the bottom of the feet. And rub between the toes. Find a point on your foot and hold that for 20 seconds, an acupressure point. think she's getting a little bigger. She's still so little. Man, when you find that acupressure point on your foot and it hits really good, you do not want to let it go. Oh, feels so good. So find another point on your foot. I'm going to marinate on this one for a minute, unless you found one that feels as good as the one that I felt. Feeling. All right, release. And now you're going to find a point under the knee on the inside of the leg and hold that for 20 seconds. And then go above the knee on the outside of the leg and hold a point there for 20 seconds. You know I'm teaching class, sweetie pie, don't you? Do you know I'm teaching? I snorted. I snort laugh. It's one of the things I do. Thumbs up for snort laughing. Tap up and down. And brush. Meow. Can you do a higher pitch? Meow. Or lower? Meow. And tap. Don't make me show you off again. I'm sorry to invade your privacy like that. All right. Well, I think she knew what she was getting into, though, when she followed me home. She's a little performer. She climbed a tree this morning, and whenever she climbs a tree, she looks back at me to show me. Like, she doesn't just like climb it and go down. She'll climb it and hug it, and then she'll look at me like, look at me. Sorry, she's looking at me like, stop talking about me like I'm not here. Okay. Anyway, it's so cute. I haven't captured it all on video. I got one a little bit. Like, I have a couple of videos of her climbing trees. I'm not sure if she does that though yet, because I think it might have developed like with our relationship where she'll like hug the tree and then look at me to see if I see her on the tree, and I'm like, "You're awesome," and then she comes down. So cute. All right, y'all. Good class today. Any questions? Anything you want to share? I have 5 minutes, and I wanted to share a little bit more about using our gifts for the highest good as artists. And you don't have to be an artist to have gifts. We all have gifts, I think. um Basically, I want you to try to recognize and be honest with yourself. Ask yourself if there's anything in your imagination that is inspiring you to accept a circumstance that is harmful for you. So it's one thing I've been really good at my whole life, is living in circumstances that other people wouldn't necessarily be able to live in, because in my imagination it's a certain way, and that's my survival skill, is that like I can imagine, like even when kitty cat's being like very whiny and meowy, like I'll like pretend that she's saying she loves me, and I'll be like, I love you too, because that just feels better to me, and it just feels better than getting angry at her for being like possibly saying something hostile. And I know a lot of people that do that too, and they'll even like say to me, "Oh, she's saying she loves you," even though they might not. You know, they, they use their imagination too to feel more love in the world. And that's kind of what I've always done. But the thing is that if you do that on the regular, you could be harming yourself in a couple of different ways. One, you could be staying in situations that are really bad for you and you need to get out of them. And two, you don't have as much energy to use that gift of your imagination to do other things because you're using it to survive instead of to thrive. You're using it to imagine circumstances are different than they are instead of creating a masterpiece of art. Does that make sense? Um, so your gift not being maximized um, because of another reason of not being honored for it. You're not honoring your gifts as gifts. You're just using them to survive, like on autopilot, instead of being like, "Look at this great gift I have." You almost don't even want to admit you're using your gift to survive because you don't want to admit that you're in a situation that you need to use your imagination in order to survive in, because you want to really believe that it's fine and healthy. So instead, your gift becomes a crutch instead of the gift that it's meant to be. I hear you, baby. Um, and that's just not being the best that you can be, right? The thing is that you can just have a really good imagination, or you might be taking certain substances that help you have that imagination. And that's when addictions and drugs can really get in the way of expressing your art. Now it's like microcosm, macrocosm, like everything in balance, right? Like at first, it might just help you shift your dimension and get out of the stuck feelings of anxiety and depression in your life. But if you're using it as a crutch, then you might be in a situation that is chronic that you need to get out of. And that's why you're addicted, because you are needing to be in an alternate reality to survive your circumstance because it's too painful otherwise. But, you know, if you get rooted in your strength, um, and you, honor your strengths and you kind of like harness them into you and you feel strong and capable, then you're not as vulnerable to have these addictions, but that takes work. And, not just substances, not just alcohol, not just sugar, but, you could be using makeup as an addiction. You could be, you know, feel so beautiful in makeup and fashionable clothes that when you don't have those things, you feel ugly instead of using them to enhance the beauty that you feel. Um, yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Um, just keep on being a good coach to yourself. If you feel like a horrible, like, cleaner, or like you just like I suck at mailing, for example, like I'm really bad at. I have thank you notes that I haven't mailed in years that I still have. If you just compliment yourself for the things that you have done, like I have mailed stuff in the past, so I'm going to say good job on that. And if you focus on that, it almost is WD-40 for doing what you find challenging again and again. Like I was saying earlier, like you might have never worked out this year, but you've worked out before, so you can compliment yourself, even if it was just one time. And then you just go from there. And then if you're inspired to do it again today, then you can compliment yourself on that time a week from now. How you feeling? Any questions? Anything you want to share? Because we got 1 minute till 3 o'clock, and I'm gonna go for a walk before the 4 o'clock live stream on cannabis. All right, let's honor our ancestors. 谢谢宗师. 谢谢老人, honoring all the teachers. Fill your hearts with gratitude and compassion. Flick that light on inside yourself and shine it out to the whole entire world with your strength and inner knowledge. You know what's good. See you Monday, 11:30. I'm only less than 200 subscribers away from 2,500. So if I get 2,500 by Sunday, I'm gonna go live with a concert. All right, y'all. Thanks again for giving this a thumbs up. If you've come to the end of the video, put something green in the comments below. Maybe a kiwi, maybe a salad, maybe a sprout, maybe a green monster. I want to see some green energy down there. Froggy! All right, y'all. You better feel or else. I'll see you later, Gators. Maybe I'll see you at 4 for some more green energy.